Thank you. I'm Stavros Ioakim. I'm the General Manager of AlphaOmegaZed in Cyprus, the platinum sponsor of this conference. AlphaOmegaZed provides, something's wrong. Anyway, AlphaOmegaZed provides services that includes cyber security, smart cities and ICT services, compliance and risk management services, e-learning platform, and training services in various topics according to our needs. So, can we predict the unpredictable? During the previous discussion panel, the panelists use the word risk. So I will try to answer this question, but let me give you the definition of the risk and the approach of the risk management. This is the definition of the risk according to the relevant ISO standard. But in simple words, risk expresses the uncertainty about future situations, the results of which could affect the achievement of the short-term and long-term goals of the business. One of the elementary business practices is the early diagnosis and prevention of adverse situations. So that means that we have to accept that something unexpected can happen. We have to accept that something unexpected can happen. This is the culture that each of us must develop in our organization. It's not easy, but we have to do it. So, let's have a look at some drivers of risk management. During the previous panel, I think Mr. Tsakiris mentioned that 80% of accidents came from human-driven accidents, and we heard the keywords about confusion, unprepared, delay. I think Mr. Hamatsos mentioned these three keywords. As you can see, we have internally driven risks like the ones I show you to the monitor. Actually, we have 4 categories of risks: the financial risk, infrastructure, marketplace, and reputational risks. All of these risks are important, but the externally driven risks are more important, are more crucial for our business. As you can see, I highlight 4 externally driven risks. The risks that actually during the previous panel, the panelists are mentioned. The risk that marine sector has faced for at least the last 2 years. How will manage all these risks? Financial, infrastructure, marketplace, reputational risks, both internally driven, externally driven risks, in every activity within our organization. We have to implement this 4 R's risk management model. As you can see, each R is an individual project for the organization. So the situation is starting to be a little bit complicated. The next step is to respond to our risk. We have to implement this 4T's risk management model, we can tolerate the risk and its likely impact. We can terminate the activities generating this high risk, and we can treat the risk to reduce the likely impact or the exposure of that risk. And finally, we transfer the risk to another party. The classic method to transfer the risk to another party is insurance coverage, the marine insurance, the concept of this conference. But when you require your insurance company to cover you, do you know the risk your insurance company will take? Do you know for how long your insurance company can take these risks and up to what limit? The insurance company must also manage the risk that it takes, your risks. It may impose conditions and exclusions from insurance coverage. You can see a real example for that. And maybe during the next discussion panel, you have the opportunity to have more details about this example. So both sides have to manage their risks for their point of view. They have to find the balance. AlphaOmegaZed have the solutions. We have the application. We have the risk and compliance management system, RCMS software solution. This solution automates the core steps of a risk compliance and compliance management process, implementing a simple and easy-to-use approach. It can be utilized to automate the enterprise risk management, information security, and business continuity management, and any other similar management and compliance processes. The key modules of this application is the environment definition, methodology, and the risk management module, action monitoring, and of course, the reporting generator, which is very important, and this application provides many reports. The RCMS core components are the risk, compliance, incident management, and of course, the monitoring. And the functionality modules, as you can see, according to the components that I mentioned before. And as I said, that you have to handle all the risks, financial, infrastructure, marketplace, reputational risks, both internally and externally driven risks, in every activity, in any correlation between the activities within your organization. Believe me, it's not easy, but this application, it makes it easier and your decisions easier, of course. According to our project plan, you can see that one project can take 2 months approximately. So let's go back to give you the answer. Can we predict the unpredictable? The issue is not to predict the unpredictable, but to have the ability to manage the unpredictable, to avoid delays, as Mr. Hamatsos mentioned before, to avoid confusions, to be prepared for better premiums and less restrictions. And yes, we can do it for you. We can help you to do it. Thank you.